So I wanted to just take a few moments and have a conversation or discussion about self disclosure and what that really means. So, self disclosure, by definition, is the communication of something about yourself to another person that they do not know. So, a lot of times when people feel comfortable with others, they tend to be more willing to divulge information about themselves um, to others, and that's all good and great and fine and dandy, except we have to kind of remember where we are and when those things are spoken, those things that we don't want others to know about us, when they're spoken, where they're spoken, why they're spoken. Just we need to remember to be cognizant of those things. While there's plenty of benefits, such as others being able to know you better, to connect with you better, to really see where you're coming from, and a host of other different things, there are some dangers and risks that come with being open with others. And some of those dangers or risks, especially in the workplace, we tend to get really comfortable with our coworkers and become really close friends. And so we feel like when we have those types of relationships that we can divulge certain information to them, and in the hopes that, oh, well, I'm just telling this to my good friend, they're not going to say anything to anybody, and so this is a safe haven, this is a safe place. But depending on the nature and the subject of what you disclose, they may or may not take that and run with that. An example that I've seen personally was a friend divulged something to her supervisor, who she was great friends with. I mean, she would go to work, spend time in her office and everything. They would laugh, joke about all different things. And so one morning she was joking about something that they had joked about, I mean, a million times, but because her demeanor was a little bit different on this one morning, her boss took the joke seriously, and their corporate office was called. She had to leave work. They gave her leave with pay, but she had to go and do all this extra stuff to prove that she was really just joking. And so it kind of made things tense for a while between her and her supervisor. And she thought she was just saying it to a friend, that she was just joking around with a friend. But in the environment in which they were in, and the fact that her demeanor was a little bit different than normal, her supervisor took it as, maybe this is something serious, maybe this isn't a joke, and got like corporate and everything involved in it. And so that's one instance in when, like, disclosing something about yourself could bite you in the rear. So one thing about self-disclosure, while it's great to be open and let other people in, remember where you are, who you're saying it to, and in what environment you're saying what's going on as well. And then another thing is, if you're very open, like some of my friends are, on social media, and you literally tell everyone about everything that's going on in your life, you really can't get upset when people kind of call you out on what you've said. You've put it out there for the world to see. So if you don't want people to really be all up in your business or know what's going on with you, then my suggestion would be to just keep your social media posts to a minimum. I mean, if you got a promotion on your job and you want everybody to know, great, share it with the world, let them all congratulate you. But if you're going through some things with, like, in your personal relationships, or you're just having a hard time dealing with some things in life, and you're feeling some kind of way, but you don't want anybody to comment or call you about it or try to give you advice or whatever, you just kind of want to be left alone, don't post that stuff on social media. Social media is very unforgiving. And it's one of those things where when you post something, you can never undo it. Once it's done, it can never be undone. Even if you even delete the post, I promise you somebody has screenshot something. And so whether you know it or not, it's still there. People are still going to talk about it. So just remember, when you're disclosing things about yourself, and you're opening up and you're becoming vulnerable, think about where you are, first of all, if it's a good environment for you to be so open. Secondly, who you're telling it to. Is this someone you can trust? Is this someone who may run and spread your business around? And third, why are you telling them? Why are you being so open, and why are you being so vulnerable? I think those are 3 really good things to remember when it comes to self-disclosure. I hope this helps somebody. Thanks for listening.